Yes, sir. Back like I never left. GMOGMediaTV back with another reaction video, family. Yeah, so we back at it like a crack addict got this motherfucker. You heard? So, saw this on my timeline, man. We got a exclusive interview with Devin from P.O Love. He matched with a chick named Kyla. I happened to watch this. Of course, I didn't react to it, but I watched the catch up when they matched between Devin and Kyla. Basically, Kyla was pretty much invested in getting to know Devin, and Devin pretty much played her. Uh, when I saw it, I was like, he was completely insensitive to her, to what her intention was. She had intent. This guy had no intention at all, but just to play with her. But she was emotional, and the only thing I didn't like about that on her side was that she kept looking for validation from him. Like, you gonna find your one. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find your one, girl. She's beautiful, talented. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't like the fact that she kept asking him. Well, she kept asking him questions about validation. You know what I'm saying? To about her. But yeah, this guy wasn't the one at all. I would like to see BM do a personalized show based around Kyla and the type of man she wants. You know what I'm saying? Because she definitely deserves better. She'll find that match, but hopefully BM will come through and do a follow up or a show around Kyla. You know what I'm saying? Because she's definitely a beautiful woman that dates with intention. It's pure as well. So, but anyway, man, I'm about to react to this dude Devin to see where his mind is at. I was surprised to see them doing a follow up with him, but nonetheless, there's a follow up. So without further ado, let's react to this video, family. Here we go.
All right, welcome back to BM Talks to Them. So today we have Devin. He's back. He was on episode 42. Then he had a catch up, and so I wanted to bring him back on BM Talks to Them to catch up from that catch up. Just to see where things are. So welcome. How you feeling?
I'm good. Glad to be back. I know we didn't get a chance to, talk like last time, but yeah, doing all right.
Right. So my first question to you is, how was the experience on Pop the Balloon or Find Love?
Like overall,
yeah,
it was cool. I think it was a pretty positive experience. I'm glad I did it. Like, there was no regrets or anything in regards to doing it. It was cool to see the behind the scenes and kind of how the show functions. And then yeah, like I got a match and everything, and then kind of went through the process of that. But no, it was a cool experience.
Okay. So I guess my first question to you is, why did you choose to match with Kyla on the show?
Get right to it.
Oh yeah, you want me to be honest? Okay, so
yeah, you're on the show for that.
As I was going through the process, like the first girl came out and everything, and I thought she was cute, all that, whatever. I mean, that's kind of obvious from the interaction that we had. Told her she looked good and everything. And then then Kyla came out, and mind you, like, I guess when you're in the lineup, at least for me, like, my mind is just flying. I'm just thinking of like all types of things, like just trying to process everything that's happening. And then a lot of it's just me thinking, like, don't say something stupid. Like, don't stutter, don't say something stupid. Just like, do not do anything like that. There are no viral moments. I'm not trying to do that. To the point where I'm so focused on that. She comes out and I look at her and I'm like, okay, she's cute. Like, cool. And then she starts singing. And then that's what I'm thinking about. I'm just like, wow, that took a lot of courage to do and everything. And then we start going through the questions, and I'm kind of like trying to figure out, like, is she someone that I want to date or not? Then we go through the questions, and I'm still just kind of iffy. And I'm answering the questions. And honestly, as it's going on, my answers, I'm not giving the most in-depth answers because I honestly just didn't think she would match with me. So I was like, all right, well, I'll answer the questions. I'll kind of like see where this goes. And I'm hearing other people's answers, and I feel like they're kind of more in line with hers. So I'm just kind of holding on to my balloon. And then it got to the point, it kind of got to the end and I still had my balloon. And I was like, I don't really have like a reason to like pop on her. Like, I don't feel like I have a legitimate reason to be like, no, this wouldn't work out. And then we ended up matching. And it was just kind of like, okay, like, let's see. To me, it was kind of like, let's see if this is something. And then, yeah, we ended up matching.
So you was attracted to her?
I thought she was cute. Like,
yo, based off that response, it don't seem like he was into her. He wasn't into her, of course, from the match, from the original follow-up match. But so you're attracted to her? Yeah, she was cute. Like, come on, bro. Stop the cap, bro. Stop playing yourself, bro.
Now, wouldn't I look silly with a broke down?
You know what I'm saying?
The tractor was way too fast. Mm-hmm. Besides, a bitch ain't shit without a good man's wit, and your thoroughbred days are past.
Let's keep it going.
Like, I mean, I thought she was cute. Like, I thought she was cute enough to like see.
So is that a yes or a no? Was you attracted?
Right. Yes or no, nigga? Be straight up. Be straight up, bro. That's a no. Look at that long ass pause, and he has to take a deep breath. That's a no. So why did you waste your time, bro? Come on, why'd you waste your time?
I mean, if it's yes or no, I would probably lean more towards no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's not like.
So why'd you waste your time?
If I'm describing like my ideal woman, it's not like her for the most part, but also like I understand like there's more to like a relationship and everything than just like the pure attraction. Like, I thought it was worth a shot. I thought she was cute, so I was like, I can see she seemed kind of sweet, and she was singing. She had some cool things about her.
Okay.
Some cool things about her. Yeah. Let's continue.
Now, my next question to you is: have you ever ghosted someone before?
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not even gonna. I would say. I'm not saying that it's right, but I would say it's not like the most uncommon thing in, I guess, like dating nowadays. And I'm not condoning it at all, but I really wouldn't consider what happened with me and her like ghosting. Like, I've had like, back and forths with somebody, and we're talking, and I'm interested in her, and then it kind of just fizzles out, and maybe you could qualify that as ghosting, and that's what I'm referring to when I say yes. Because there's never been like a situation where like things are going well, and then I just immediately just don't say anything ever to the person again. Because I know people were getting on me kind of about the time it took me to respond. Even though I responded, like, I don't consider that like full-fledged ghosting. I feel like everyone's kind of throwing that term around, but it's up to interpretation, I guess.
Okay, so let's go back to the time that you took to respond, because. So you say that you didn't speak to her for 3 days.
Right. So we were talking. So, we had our coffee date and everything. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we were talking back and forth, a couple voice messages throughout the day. And then, and even then, like, there's still time in between those messages just because I'm typically doing something. Just between, I have 3 jobs, and then I was also dealing with my rental car business. So, I mean, I stayed pretty busy. But so on Thursday, on my way to work, I sent her a voice message letting her know that, hey, this is my time of week where I get really busy. And if there was ever a time where I get irresponsive, this is that time right now. So I let her know that on Thursday on my way to work. And I think she responded like, like, okay. And then I didn't get back to her the rest of Thursday or Friday. And then on Saturday, she sent me a text asking me, was everything okay? To which I immediately responded because I don't want her to be like worried or anything. And I immediately responded to that. So at that point, I still didn't ghost her. I was just not responding to her in like a timely manner.
Okay.
You weren't ghosting her. You weren't responding to her in a timely manner. Okay. You're double talking because that's what ghosting is. Right? When you're not responding to someone in a timely manner, yeah, that's considered ghosting. Ghosts are dead entities, right? A ghost you can see a ghost come back. You can see it. So I'm painting this analogy. Yeah, you can basically ignore someone or ghost someone for a certain period of time and come back and respond to them. Let's say it takes you 3 weeks to respond to someone. That's still ghosting, but you respond to them. You ghosted them. It's the same concept. So yeah, you're basically double talking, brother. But let's keep it going.
Okay. All right. So when she reached out to you, right, you then took another 7 days.
So this, like, mind you, like in that original catch up, I approached that catch up pretty light. Like I didn't go over anything in my head. I didn't prepare for that at all. So she was kind of coming with like she took a minute to prepare, like knowing like what all the points that she wanted to hit, while I just thought it was going to be a pretty like friendly conversation. So mind you, I wasn't like prepared to go into like every single detail kind of the way that she did. But
so this is your chance. This is your chance. So
yeah, for sure. And that's why I'm like taking the time.
Yeah.
So Saturday, she sent me that text and I immediately responded, which she kind of got mad about, like at least in the catch up. She was like, he immediately responded. But I'm like, yeah, because you seemed concerned and I wanted to make sure you didn't think I died or anything. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I just been busy. I'll respond tomorrow when I'm like settled, because I work from home on Sundays. So it's like I have time. Like I can make some time to respond to you. And even then, like I'm still working, and that doesn't mean I want to take time away from whatever I'm doing to respond to a message. And then mind you, we're sending voice messages. So these messages can get pretty long. You're talking about like 2, 3, 4 minutes of just yapping. And I can like talk. So like if I'm going to make a voice message, I need to carve out like up to 10 minutes just to like talk about things. So I was like, I'll respond tomorrow. And then I didn't respond Sunday. I ended up responding on Monday. Okay. And then on Monday, I sent her a message basically responding to her messages from like Wednesday, I guess, because on Thursday, maybe I didn't really respond to them, or maybe I did. I can't remember that exactly. So I responded to all the things she said before. And then I talked about all the things that had been happening between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I send her that message and she responds to that without a voice message. All she responded to like minutes of me talking was, yeah, I was starting to feel some type of way. And then she said, I thought it was either something or somebody. It's like why I wasn't responding. And I looked at that and I was like, so you not going to respond to like everything that I said? Like, I was just talking for quite a while. Like, I get it. You can get your point across and be like, you know, I felt some type of way, but then like at least respond to my messages. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, like, what do you want me to say to that? Like, we're not in a position to where like, I told you, you know, how my life works and like kind of how busy I am. So I'm not here. Like, it's too early for me to be trying to reassure you about anything. Like, we've been talking, like, it's too soon for me to be like, oh no, there's no one else. There's nothing. I've just been busy. Like, I didn't feel like I was about to do all that. So I just didn't respond to that. And then at that point I was like, okay, I was like, let me just like, I need to let her know that I don't think this is going to go anywhere. So then like, that would have been Monday. So then, yeah, a bunch of days went by where I was like, all right, I got to respond. Oh, I got to respond. Oh, I got to respond. Till eventually I did. And then that's when I sent her the message. And then that's the one where she was, you know, she started crying and things like that. And then in that message, still like, we had only been talking for such a brief amount of time. Like, we went on one coffee date, which to me is like a pre-date. If you really want to consider like a coffee date, we're just really here to get to know each other, to see if anything, you know, if we can move forward with anything prior to her leaving, as opposed to like trying to get to know each other completely through messages. Like, let me see what the face-to-face is like. So I was like, okay, like I had my reasons why I didn't think we would work out. And it took me a while to respond to her. And people, that seems to be the biggest gripe that people have, that it took me so long to respond to her. But realistically, like, I am super busy, and I'm not going to say I never had time to pull out my...
Oh, boy. I'm already getting irritated with this guy. Word salad, double talking. This was the first initial question that BM asked. One of the first, I should say. Are you attracted to her? Yes or no? Well, you know, she's not really my type. So this was a complete waste of time. That's my point. Complete waste of time. You wasted BM's time. You wasted her time. And now you're trying to salvage your image by going on the show to basically validate why you put Kyla through this intimacy of wasting of time, because time is something that you can't get back. That's invaluable. You wasted her time, brother. You wasted her time. I'm busy. I'm super busy. I got 3-4 jobs. It don't fucking matter, bro, because anybody that finds somebody interested or attractive, they're going to make time. Regardless, they'll make time for that person. And you didn't, because why? You don't care. You don't fucking care, right? You don't care. You're insensitive. You're dismissive. You're nonchalant, right? And this was something that was daunting in your catch up with Kyla. She was intentional. You are not intentional. Simple shit. But let's continue, man. I'm just gonna let it rock through, man. But let's continue.
My phone and say something, but realistically, I can kind of do whatever I want to with my time. And if I have the little free time I have, like if I want to just do nothing at all and stare at the wall, like I feel like I have the right to do so. Not to mention, we have been talking for 4 days total. You can, if you want to count the full duration of like before, like I said, this isn't going to work out. You can, and even then, it's still like a week and a half. But it was literally like 4 full days of talking. So still, at that point, it's not like a priority to me to be like, hey, I don't think things are going to work. Things are going to work out.
Okay. All right. So, all right. This is what I'm going to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this stage of your life, you will say that you are a man. You're not a boy no more.
No,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
Well, a man is direct.
For sure.
A man, you see me, I'm direct. I say it how it is. Ghosting someone is what boys do.
It's fairly childish, for sure.
Right. So, this is how I look at it, right? You have to be direct and just be completely truthful with people, especially someone that you are potentially getting to know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if this was a woman, if a woman ghosted a man,
yeah,
then I'm pretty sure all of these, some of these men on social media, the men that's part of the social media soldiers group, the ones that fight for men's rights on the internet, these social media soldiers will come out and they start bashing women. They'll probably start going off and saying, this is how women are. Women ghost men all the time. You see, we're tired of them. They'll come out.
Yeah.
So now, what do you social media soldiers have to say when a man does it?
Right, they're like on the same type of time. Like it's just,
right.
The opposite.
So when a man does it, men, you also need to call out men that also do wrong. Because she said that you was the one that was actually putting in the effort. You was initiating the conversations. You was actually putting in work for her. You were putting in work for her. The first time I called her, and the first time I called you as well, you said, hey, it's all good, that we're talking. Yeah. You said to me like, yeah, you. So I feel like you're actually the ones that actually putting in the work, because you're the one that was planning things. You was the one that was actually making things,
But see,
work.
Like to me, I didn't do anything extraordinary. She kind of almost painted a picture that I was like, she said I was like being intentional and things like that. And I'm not going to say I wasn't being intentional, but realistically, I was like, I should try to see her before she leaves. So we grabbed coffee before she left. And it was like the fact that I checked in on her when she left, like, mind you, you were just with me. And now you just told me you're going to go drive 6 hours to get back home. Even if it was just one of my friends, if I'm like one of the last people you saw, I'm going to check in on you to make sure you get home. So I wasn't doing anything extraordinary, and I wasn't saying anything that...
But that's the thing. I feel like you don't think that you was. She's thinking that because you are calling her, you are the one that's putting in the effort. She feels like, you know what? This guy cares. And you, in your head, I feel like you said, you've ghosted someone before. So you've probably done this before, and nobody has ever came to call you out and tell you that this is wrong. Maybe that's why you feel like you can keep on doing it, and you feel like it's okay to keep doing it, because in your head, you think that this is right. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't want it to sound like that. Like I just
Right,
go
no, but
about
I'm
just
saying to you, I'm
ghosting
saying to you how it looks like. It looks like
Mhm.
you're doing this and not realizing that you are hurting people, and people's feelings are getting hurt. So the females, if you've ghosted females in the past,
Mhm.
right? You in your head, you're like, oh, but it doesn't even mean anything. I'm just checking in. But that checking in to them might be like, wait, he's putting in effort to speak to me in such a way that most, other males don't speak to them.
Yeah, but
So
is the bar so low? Like, is the bar so low to where if I send you a message, and it's not like she would go times without talking to me, and then I like send her another message like, "Hey, are you okay?" We're literally. She made it seem like I was doing so much more, and I can understand it can
okay,
come off as like maybe I don't realize it, but I'm pretty self-aware, and I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary from just going back and forth and talking to somebody. Like I
okay,
swear to you, I didn't say out like it wasn't like, hey, I'm ready to plan the trip for you to come out here. Hey, I'm ready to plan a trip for me to come to you. When can I see you next? Like there was no talk of like there was no future planning. I didn't lead her on outside of anything than a normal conversation between two people that just met and are getting to know each other.
so
Like,
why didn't you express that you wasn't into her?
Mm-hmm.
you mean like as soon as I knew it?
You knew before. You knew before you even matched with her, brother. You said that is not your type. So again, you just go back to wasting time. You completely wasted her time. You had no intention to take it any further. So you were playing with her and wasting her time. They should file a lawsuit on you. I even know they had a lawsuit where forgot what state it was, but I heard of a lawsuit called Homewrecker. Uh Y'all know who I'm talking about in the comments. It was a former football player, Steve Smith. Yeah, Steve Smith um is being sued, and they imply there is a lawsuit called the Homewrecker lawsuit where you basically fucked up somebody's marriage. Not to say, of course, you know, they're married or intention to be married. My point is that you wasted her time. So I would not be mad if she filed a lawsuit. If there was something where someone can file a lawsuit for you wasting someone's time and emotional distress, because she was clearly distraught in the catch up between you and her, I wouldn't be mad if she filed a lawsuit against you, brother. But let's keep it going.
Yeah, you ghosted. Like, this is the thing, right?
Mhm.
I'm saying a man is direct. If you feel like it's not going anywhere, why didn't you just
Right,
communicate that with her?
right off the bat. And
Yeah.
and then my answer would be it just wasn't a priority for me. I didn't, and then listen to like this
Wait,
part.
wait. What wasn't a priority? So it was not a priority for you to tell someone that you're not into them.
Not after 3 days of talking. After one coffee date and a couple days of talking,
So
like I
okay,
wasn't.
so Devin,
This nigga really fucked up, bro.
I knew you was a body bag before the body bag.
it's not looking good.
Hmm.
Because if I ask you, it's not looking good, why did you come on the show?
Oh, I wanted to see. Like I thought the chances were slim that I would find somebody that I could like truly be with, but I thought it was possible, so I thought it was worth a shot.
So the person that you matched with, she was looking for real love. You wasn't, right?
See,
So now that it happened, I don't think you was looking for real love, because your mentality wasn't to actually try to make something work with someone. I'm not saying you have to. Listen, Devin, you don't have to be attracted to someone. You're allowed not to be attracted to someone. That's fine.
for sure, yeah.
It becomes an issue when you're not able to communicate that with somebody, because over there she's thinking, yeah, this is all good. Like
I disagree. I think there's a part of that being attracted to someone. Yeah, that is a pre-qualification. I've always said there's 3 stages, basic stages from a high level of a relationship. That's attraction, compatibility, and sustainability. So now, he said he wasn't physically attracted to her. Were you attracted to her on a internal, intangible level? He did not express that, nor did BM ask that question. Did you have any type of things that you find attractive about her outside of her appearance? right? I mean, he didn't like voluntarily state that either. So there's different forms. My point is there's different forms of attraction, not just physical attraction. So my point is also is that is a criteria to starting and being or cultivating a relationship is attraction, compatibility, and sustainability. Let's keep it going.
Intentional. He's actually putting in effort. So she's feeling like something is happening here. While you over there, you're like, oh, nothing's happening. I'm just checking in. We're just talking like normal. There's nothing going on. But in her mind, she was like, I came on the show to actually find someone. And she feels like she found someone.
Right.
So she was actually taking it serious in a sense. And you know, sometimes like there's a time to have fun. Me, when it's time for fun, I will be the funnest person.
Sure.
You know, when it comes to being funny, I'll be funny. But when it's time to be serious, I'm serious. And this is the time where you needed to be serious and communicate with her and tell her exactly how it is. Because that is actually leading a woman on. Now, I will say this, right? I think she did move fast as well. I think she should have took her time, right? Because when you said to her that your ex was just something to do, she should have thought about that statement and be like, wait, let me take my time because maybe he might do the same.
What did I tell her?
You said that your ex was just something to do.
Oh,
yep.
I know. She said that. I didn't tell her that. What I said about my ex was, I was telling her that it was me and my ex, like it was hard to break things off because we worked together. So it was almost like it was difficult to end things off even when I felt like things were over because we still work together. And I was like, it was almost like the convenience of us being together. It made it too difficult. Like it made it more difficult than like somebody that I don't see. And yeah, she threw that out there like as if
So is it hard for you to tell a woman that you're not feeling them? Is it hard?
I mean, yeah, part of me never wants to like hurt somebody's feelings. Like I'm trying to be considerate of their feelings, right. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to.
Well, not communicating how you feel about that person in real time is hurting their feelings. So again, you just have to be, like BM said, direct and express exactly how you feel in real time.
End things, but no, I literally did. I tried to end things with my ex. And they kind of continued, not to the point where we were still like, I'm not going to say exclusively together because I wasn't like sleeping with anybody else, but it was just hard to kind of get away from that with the dynamics of, you know, the fact that we did work together and the proximity of everything.
That's the whole point of being a man, being able to communicate and tell people exactly what it is. Because by you not saying these things, you're actually hurting them more than you think.
Oh, for sure. And I learned something from that. Like I learned because I told her that I didn't think things would work out. And then she would hit me back. And then we would just kind of continue what was happening. And then only after that was I like, okay, no, I should have told her no. And then just kind of let her be.
Right.
Because I saw how it affected her and how she kept getting like hurt over and over again. Right. And in my head, I'm like, but I told you. But at the same time, I was like, okay, no, that was on me. I should have told her that. You know, I should have just broke things off completely. Just, you know, let that be. It's kind of
like the same situation here. Even though this was quick, it was, you know, you lot just spoke for a short amount of time. Some people, you know, they catch feelings very quick. Some people it takes them time. This situation, she caught feelings very quickly. Now, I also feel like when you said that you don't believe in God, I feel like she should have stopped and actually, she should have been like, you know what, let me go slow. Because she doesn't know if you will change your mind one day. And that's a big thing. Religion is a big thing.
For sure.
You feel me? So I feel like, yeah, things did move fast. But at the same time, you did not communicate with her exactly what it was. So that's where the problem lies.
So the biggest thing is the fact that how long it took me, because it wasn't that I never told her, because eventually I did. The problem is with how long it took me. But it took me so long because I didn't think it was that significant that early on to where like I had to be so quick with it. Because like, mind you, if we dated or we were talking for months and then all of a sudden I went 5 days, 6 days, 7 days without talking to her, I can understand like that would be super messed up. But if we're just talking back and forth for a couple days and it takes me a while, like I've known women where maybe we talk every few days, maybe every week. And then I know some where we talk every single day. Like it varies. But to think that, like, if she would have stopped responding to me, and it's not like I've never had just conversations just end out the blue. And I never I was just like, okay, I get it. They not feeling me. That's how simple that is for me. I'm like, your actions speak louder than your words. If we talk for a couple of days and you just stop talking to me, I'm like, all right, she don't like me like that. Cool, move on. So that's also like, I also understand I've been on the other side of things. So I guess I'm not as sensitive, but I guess I just didn't feel as much as she did. But that huge disconnect, if I think she feels anywhere similar to how I feel at that moment, I don't think that she's like losing sleep and like wondering why I'm not responding to her and like all this stuff is going on in her head, because I didn't think it was possible for her to feel that much that soon, and that I left such a great impression when I was just being completely like normal. Like I didn't do anything out of the ordinary, like in our conversation or in the time that we spoke. So that's why it took me a while, because I'm like it's like she's all right. Like she's like, I don't think she's losing sleep over it.
I mean, you don't know what she's
I don't know.
thinking.
I don't know.
Right. But the only thing that you can do as a man is communicate. So do you feel like you had to match with her?
I think it's for me, it's like a, let's see if this works out, compared to her, let's make this work out. Is how I see the dynamic of like our two perceptions of everything. That's why she was so far ahead of me in the way she felt, because she was already planning a future with me, as opposed to like me, who's like, well, let me just see if there's anything here. And that's like the huge disconnect. And that's also why I didn't feel as like, oh, let me let her know now. Let me not waste her time, because I didn't think I was wasting her time. Like I didn't think she was waiting for my messages like that.
But you
said you were self-aware. Apparently you're not.
you was wrong.
Yeah, I'm not saying I wasn't wrong. I'm
because I'm you keep saying that, oh, I didn't think. We're not kids. This is what kids, this is what boys do, you know, when they are assuming all these things, when the reality is you should have just spoke to her. You should have just communicated. That's it. End of. I feel like you wasn't attracted to her. She wasn't the woman that you wanted to try and put effort for after a while. Maybe you did for the first 4 days, but then afterwards you thought, you know what, it's not gonna work.
I don't think it's gonna work. But there were
but then you should have just been completely direct and just let her know where it is, and then this wouldn't have, all of this wouldn't have happened. No, for sure. For sure. If I would have just let her know in a timely manner, as soon as I was like, this isn't gonna work out, then that's what would have happened. I don't know if she still would have reacted the same way. But still, like, there's still things about it. I'm just imagining if it was vice versa and I was acting so hurt over this, people would be like, this is the softest dude I've ever heard speak. You knew Shorty for 4 days, and there would be zero sympathy for me if I acted like that.
Yeah, that's a stupid analogy, man. You know that it's a double standard when it comes to that. Men are men. We're masculine. We're not supposed to be emotional. So you know there's going to be backlash regarding that. Women are emotional beings, right? So they're going to feel some type of way, especially if you ghost them. So let's stop the cat, bro.
If the roles were reversed and I acted like I felt so much for her while she didn't feel as much for me, there would be zero sympathy for me. People are completely disregarding the timeline and how quickly she felt so much for me. And it's so apparent because the way she detailed that coffee date to say things, well, first of all, she called me a liar and manipulator, which is crazy to me and are just pure trigger words to like kind of paint me as a villain. And I'm still not saying that I didn't do anything wrong. I should have and could have responded to her in a more timely manner. But at the same time, she was so far ahead in that relationship to me. Mind you, like, I never kissed this girl. I never like attempted to do anything with her physical. She said we talked about children's names. That's not true. She said somebody's name, like somebody she knows in her life's name, that was the same name that I was like, is a name that I've always imagined like naming one of my sons. And she said that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a cool name. That's like what I consider naming. Like if I have a son, that's what I would consider naming him. She said we talked about the names of our children. She was so far ahead, in a completely different world than me. And I guess going forward, I should assume that any woman I talk to is completely in love with me off of the first date.
She liked you, bro. She liked you. That's all
Okay,
it was.
is infatuated.
If she liked you and she's acting that way, then just know that she's for real. It's real. Like this is what
No,
it is.
she really likes me.
It's not a game to her, but to you, in your head, you did not care about it the same way that she did. And I'm not saying that you have. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to be all in for it. You know, but you just need to make sure that she's aware of what's going on, because that comes across as you're leading her on.
Right. Mm-hmm. I get it, but I think people are being far too critical, as if like we dated for like months and months and we planned a trip, and like they act like I planned a trip with her and then stopped talking to her when the trip was coming up.
I think people are being critical because you came on a show that people are actually finding real love. That's
for sure.
And some of you people that come on the show are forgetting the whole point of coming on this platform.
That doesn't mean you can completely get out of your head, though, and just assume the person you match with is the person you're going to end up with forever, unless they're reciprocating that same energy. Like,
right. It doesn't mean that, but it's like you need to try. She tried. You didn't.
I literally gave it a shot. We went on the date. I talked to her, and then I was like, all right, this probably isn't going to work out.
But that's not trying, because you said yeah, you gave her a shot, you talked to her, and then you ghosted. That's not you trying. That's you basically being like, you know what, let me just play a game, and then when I'm done, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
not out when I want to be, and I'm not going to tell her exactly what it is. I'm done. I'm out. That's what it is.
I did tell her what it was. I just didn't do it as quickly as people prefer.
Right. But if she didn't reach out to you, you would have never told her.
I swear to you on my life that I would have told her why we weren't going to work out, regardless of if she reached out to me. And I don't mean a month would have gone by or something like that. Even though it took me 7 days, I still responded to her after. So that's the point that you're missing, as like me like truly ghosting her or never would have talked to her.
You just said it took you 7 days. Devin, brother. Brother. It's not looking good.
Because it took me a while.
Right, exactly. Because this is evidence that we are.
Ain't nobody that busy, bro. The fuck out of here. That's what you can do, nigga.
Seeing and hearing here. You know, like.
For sure, no, it took 7 days.
There's no excuses for you not to speak to somebody for that long, you know, and then say, oh, I was busy. You know, I have a lot going on. Me, I'm a very busy man.
I bet.
I don't use that as an excuse.
No, for sure. But I bet the people that you respond to are people involved in your life that you care about and want to maintain relationships with.
That's why I asked you at the beginning. I said, why did you choose to match with her? And I feel like if you was having second thoughts, you should have never matched with her.
No, you're right. I could have popped, but it was just like I'm willing to see like if this works out. I'm like, she likes me. Let me see if something develops from this.
Yeah. It's
not that I didn't like her. It's just like I like her enough. Like I'm like, she's cute. She seems sweet. She be singing. These are all like this is cool. Let me see what's up. But then as I learned more about her.
She be singing.
And there was like...
That's a very... You know, listen, bro. She's an artist. Beautiful artist at that. Artistry, I guess you can say, creatives, especially talented ones, are few and far in between. So when you find somebody that's a creative, a singer, a dancer, someone that is, you know, in that ilk, that's a talented person, brother. I'm just not gonna dismiss that. Talk about she be singing, she be dancing type shit. That's a very unique talent that you know you gotta admire, especially someone that's talented and that's good and has a future. You gotta give them their props, man.
Timeline between like having kids and everything. Everyone's saying I should have just let her know like that I wasn't interested, but I didn't do that. I let her know why I didn't think we would work out, which I feel like is is better than just being like, hey, this isn't going to work out. Like, let me give you actual reasons why I don't think this will. And it just took me too long. It took me longer than it should. I'm very intentional with relationships that I want to thrive and grow. Very much so. You can ask my friends. You can ask girls that I've dated. If I want you like that, you will feel that. You'll get the reassurance, your emotions, physically, all that. You'll feel safe, 100%. But I'm being dragged.
You just have to be. You have to be all for that woman.
Way.
Okay, I mean, I understand that. We are saying that it's okay for you not to be attracted or feel, kind of the way that
it fizzled out.
It's
fizzled.
fine.
It was like, this won't work.
Right. Okay. But the main point is that she did not know what's going on.
For sure.
You left her in the dark. That's basically the whole story here. Now I want to ask you, Devin, what is your dream woman?
What do you want me to describe? Like how she is, what she looks like?
Yeah, everything.
I mean, realistically, she doesn't like. I don't have like a super preference with what she is. Like, she can be black, she can not be black. Like, I don't have like an extreme preference. Like, I'll date anyone I find attractive, for the most part. But it really just comes down to like the energy that she's giving me, and if it's in line, like I would just say like I like a woman that's super wholesome, feminine, wholesome. Like, she's intelligent to the point where like she kind of already knows like what to be doing. Like, she's not always coming to me asking me about every single thing. There's an independence, but there's also like she'll allow me to like gently lead her. Just things like that. And I do like, I don't know if I just.
It's called interdependency. That's a key characteristic in a relationship, or at least for what I like to have, is an interdependent woman. That is someone that can do things on her own, but understands the dynamic of having a partner to help thrive into, what she's trying to accomplish. She understands the importance of having a partner, and it's even more powerful when there's two people that's cultivating a relationship. So, but let's keep it going.
Said that I like them taller because I want my kids to be tall. And people were giving me crap because I was saying, like, as far as genetics go, like if I'm picking how my kids are are more black than anything. I want them to be as fast as possible and athletic as possible just to make life easier for them. My kids are going to be competitive and play sports. So yeah, if like I'm picking that, it's like, that's kind of what I lean towards. But I don't have like an extreme preference physically other than you have to look good, but there's a lot of ways to look good.
Right. If you was given a chance to go back, what would you have done differently?
I would have popped my balloon.
And this is what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
For
like,
sure.
I was saying this. There was a lot of talking here, and I just feel like this could have been avoided by you just saying I should have just popped.
I wouldn't have given it a shot. I should have been realistic with myself and be like,
that's exactly. That's what when I'm saying to people that come on the show, I'm saying that, listen, you know what you want as a man. When you're a man, you know exactly what you want.
As
and attraction.
As soon as you see it.
Yeah, as soon as you see it, attraction is a big thing for a lot of men.
It's super important for me. Like,
right. So that's what I was saying. When she first came out, when you saw how she is, if you knew that 100% that's not your type, you should have popped. That you even giving it a go is like, oh, let me do it just to do it. But I know for sure that she's not somebody that I'm.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, she walked out, and what kind of screwed me up was, you were like, if you're not attracted to them, pop your balloon. Don't hold your balloon and pop it later. Is what was kind of like one of the things said, like prior to the show. So when I didn't pop my balloon at first, I felt stuck with it because I was like, well, I don't want to say I'm not like, she's not really my type, or I don't think.
No, you can. No, you can.
That's what I'm saying.
What I said to you guys was, I said, if you're not feeling the woman, pop your balloon. That's what I said. Right. So you can. That means you can pop it. You can pop it anytime. For sure. But the longer you hold on to it for, the
more I feel like I have to keep it.
The longer you hold on to it, people are gonna be like, why didn't you just pop it straight away? That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I was thinking about.
So too much stuff was going on in your head. You're like, what do I do? So I do this, I do this.
Thinking something crazy. And I'm just like, And I'm like, I can't say I'm not really attracted to her. Also, what threw me off too is the people that popped like right when she walked out, and they said they didn't like her hair, and I was like, to me, I was like, y'all sound dumb. I was like, that's crazy. Like over that, whether that was the reason or not, to me it just sounded stupid. So I was like, I'm not popping my balloon because of that, because that's dumb. So I kind of held it, and then yeah, I felt like I was like, it got to the point where I was like, well, I can't say I'm not really feeling her, like the attraction wise, because I've held it too long. And then even in my head, I was thinking about the gym too. I was like, I can ask her like, does she work out like that? But then I was like, she just said something about doing jungle gyms or zip lining through the forest or something. So I was like, she just mentioned something physical. So I was like, can't pop for that. And then I was like, well, she is kind of short. And I was like, but I've held my balloon too long. Can't pop for that. To the point where I ended up at the end and I stepped up and I was just like, I can't even think right now. And then it just kind of happened.
Okay. At least you apologized. You know, you apologized.
For sure, I am sorry. I didn't like the last thing I ever want to do is one, make a woman cry. And that's why it is hard to be like, hey, things aren't going to work out because you just know it's going to hurt them, which is fine. It's not that I've never told a girl like, hey, this isn't going to work out. And then like, I'm sorry. But like I said, there was just that disconnect in how much I thought she could even care that quickly. So that's why I just wasn't like, oh, let me let her know now because I know she's going to be thinking about it. It was never that. I'm like literally thinking she's just living her life day to day, doing whatever she normally does. And she's probably like, oh, Devin didn't respond to me yet today.
Let me ask you a question, Devin. Do you feel like you are an overthinker, but you don't know how to express the things that you're thinking about?
Nah, I would say typically as an overthinker, no, because I don't even think about things too much because typically things are really black and white for me. The only thing that makes this unblack and white is the platform, and it's almost like something that I've like the distance thing. Like most of the part, you ask me questions like yes, no, or I just don't care. So like this is like a little different. And then as I know I'm going to end things with her, I am considering that people are going to want to know why, because this isn't just two people that met. People are going to be asking. If I was just like, I'm not interested in her, and she came on the catch up and said, that's what he said, people would have been asking her what happened, and they would have been asking me what happened. So I'm like trying to figure out like, are these legitimate reasons for us not to work out? And then, yeah, so I am overthinking in a sense about the way I want to go about things, like ending things, just because I know there's a whole audience, attached to this, as opposed to just a girl where I'm just like, hey, things are going to work out. I will never see you again. And you'll be just fine.
Devin. I asked you if you're an overthinker. On the show, you said that you was overthinking.
I was. That's a crazy environment to be in. It's almost anxiety.
So maybe you do overthink sometimes, but you just don't realize it.
Okay, maybe sometimes I was overthinking about this.
I feel like a lot of the times you do things and you don't realize this is what's happening, but people can see it. Like, like the ghosting thing, right? It's like, I feel like you didn't realize that was an issue at the time. But then when people see it, you're like, oh, wait, maybe I can see.
I thought it would, trust me, like I'm talking to my boy and I'm like, I still haven't responded. I need to respond. I'm saying it. Like, I know I need to. But the crazy part.
That's crazy. You talking to your friend, your homie, about the girl you're dating, talking about you haven't responded to her, and you gotta respond. Yeah, that's definitely overthinking, brother. You don't have no self-awareness. You talking about I'm self-aware, nigga? You're not self-aware, bro. You're not self-aware at all, bro. Your shit is at the bottom tier. You probably like self-aware. Your self-awareness is like at 20% until somebody points it out, bro. So this is a guy that's in his bubble, and I was once there like that too. I'm still working on my bubble shit. You know what I'm saying? In my bubble. Until people tell me, hey, you're doing X, Y, Z. So everybody's not perfect, man. We all got our struggles, but damn, bro, like that's not a good look, man.
Part about all this is I'm actually one of the most blunt people in real life. I'm literally the most blunt, transparent people possible. I literally will tell somebody like to their face, like, I don't want to have this conversation anymore. Like I'm pretty straightforward typically. This is just a completely different dynamic than like.
So do you think it's because of the show that
blaming BM
maybe played a part to why you acted this way? Like
It's
you
the
feel like it
biggest
was
part.
you think it was the pressure for the show.
In a sense.
That's the easiest scapegoat. Blame BM for everything. Yeah, it's the platform that got me fucked up. Yeah, it is what it is.
Because I felt like I had to, like, realistically, if I wanted to stop talking to a girl that quickly, like, I feel like I could literally be like, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. Best of luck. Or like, you're a good person. Like, I think you got a good personality, blah, 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 blah. Good luck with everything. If you told me to going for a job interview or something. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be like, oh, still good luck with that job interview. And it'll be like, oh, I'm so intentional. No, I'm just a nice person in that sense. But yeah, and that would be enough for me. But I knew that wouldn't be enough for everybody because I knew there was a lot more people involved than just me and her. So I'm like, how do I want to go about this? What reasons, like, legitimate reasons do I want to give her? And like, will she be okay with that? And I am overthinking in that sense, but I'm also trying to do it with a bunch of like grace and like softness as opposed to just being like, goodbye.
Yeah, like all of this could have been avoided by you just saying, I'm just not interested. I'm going to bring Kyla back on the show. Comment down below if you want me to bring her back on Pop the Balloon or to give her her own It's a Match.
I'll give her a
Devin.
I already said that. I said bring her back on the show to give her own show, her own It's a Match show. I said that from the beginning. Y'all can just rewind it and what I said from the intro. So I called it.
Yeah, Devin, yeah, you're done.
I don't get to come back.
You're done.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I do wish you the best, and I do hope that you do find love one day. And if you do, maybe we might have you back on the podcast. Show the people that you are.
That would be great. That would be great. People just think I'm never gonna find love now, and it's hilarious. They don't even know what my life is right now. There's a whole lot of wondering and speculation about what I got going on, and it's pretty funny. It is.
All right. Cool. All right. So, any projects that you got coming up?
No, I'll just be working. Y'all know, everybody knows that I'm just working and all that. But no, nothing crazy going on. Just working.
Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for watching the podcast, and we will catch you on next.
All right, man. That was it, man. How can I describe this guy? He's too self-absorbed. Very, very self-absorbed guy. And I must say, light-skinned niggas have this problem of being too self-absorbed. All right? Light-skinned niggas like him, I have the same issue. I'm too self-absorbed with what I got going on. So therefore, nobody can really tell me my shit don't stink until someone points it out to me. So he has that problem. It's unfortunate what happened to Kyla. But like I said, Kyla needs to go back on the Pop the Balloon show and get her own show. And yeah, she deserves that. But that's my thoughts on that, man. Leave your comments down below about this reaction. What y'all think about Devin and all that stuff, man. Make sure y'all see the addies up there. Give me a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, family. Until next time, signing out. Peace.